Okay. So, right now, I'm at my textbook and I have this printed. Do you remember this? Yes. And also, as requested, okay, your term practice. Three, okay, because next week's test includes squares and rectangles. Next Monday, I will be returning you all your worksheets for revision, okay, and your file as well. So you bring home all your things for revision. So this one is your first homework for the tomorrow and the weekend. Can I have the last person of each row to come and collect? Turn 3, practice. Turn 3, practice 3. There's no need to talk, please. Remain silent. Those of you are ready, you can already begin on your work. This is page number 63. 2 minutes. Page 63. Go. Now, we are going full force on multiplication, distribution on decimal day as well as word problems. So, this one's homework. I repeat again. Homework for today as well as the weekend. Okay? Right. Now full force on multiplication and division. Now, the thing about these operations of decimals, much of the knowledge actually, like I said, when we did addition and subtraction of decimals, the biggest thing about this is that the method to do them is the same as how you would do plus and minus for any whole number. But for decimals, you need to pay particular attention to aligning the decimal point. Right? Okay. So the same thing as with multiplication and division. On page 63, which I just started to tell you about, if you have your textbook along with you, you'll be able to see the pages where the concept is explained to you very nicely in diagrams form. Now, on top of these, boys and girls, on top of this, I also want you to pay attention to your SLS. I've just put in two new assignments to help you to revise on the methods to do multiplication or division on decimals. So for your test, if you have completed all of these assignments on SLS, including the previous ones on angles, squares, and rectangles, and the whole bunch of decimal lessons assignments here, including the new ones for the weekend, then I think you're quite ready for the test. But if you are one of those who are falling in the red color zone, and you're not submitting your things, and then the yellow here not complete, then I'm concerned for you. Okay, so there's multiplication and division assignments on SLS to help you as well. Okay, now back to what we are saying. In your textbook, it shows you very clearly the concept of doing multiplication of decimals and division. Now, the ideas is exactly actually the same with how you will do whole numbers. This is page 62 of your textbook. Those of you who are having it. If you look at the textbook and take reference from it, it shows you how the same ideas of multiplication from whole numbers gets carried on to decimal places. And how to do regrouping of decimals as with the whole numbers. Is that okay? So let's say I take a look at this first part here. The example given was 0.3 times 3. Page 62, that's the first part, right? It shows you 0.3 times 3. Now, it explains to you what it means. 0.3 times 3 is actually the same as saying I do 0.3 plus 0.3 plus 0.3. So 0.3 times 3, that will mean I have a set of 0.3 times 3 times. Now, we already know by now our times table. 3 times 3 is 9. 30 times 3 is 90. 300 times 3 is 1,200. And by how is that possible? Is simply remembering 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, and changing it in the places, in the place value. So for example, 3 times 3 is actually talking about 3 ones times 3 equals 9. 9 ones. So even if I look at 0.3 here, it's a decimal. But if I understand and read it in English, it's 3/10 multiplied by 3. And the same idea actually gets you 3 times 3 is 9. But now it's 9/10. Okay, which actually means that 0.3 times 3 is 0.9. And so the same idea of the times table can be used even to the smaller place value, like hundreds here. 300 times 3 is 900. Now what's 300? 300 is 0.03. Times 3 sets of it will be 0.09. So this is what the concept is trying to tell you. Actually, you only need to remember your times table. Then you can do all the multiplication in the book. No matter it's fraction, decimal, all can solve. Okay, in future, primary 5 and 6, percentage ratio, all these new topics, as long as you can remember your times table, not difficult. Then the next part shows you regrouping. This story, which we will be looking at more of these problems in a moment, there are 4 bottles of orange juice. Each bottle contains 0.4 liters of orange juice. Very common and real life example. If your family drinks orange juice or Coca-Cola or some drink, and they buy the big bottle or small bottle, and a few people in the family will take more. So 0.4 liters times 4 bottles. It shows you the process of regrouping. The same times table fact, 4 times 4 equals 16. I'm not remembering any new times table, it's still 4 times 4. However, now we are looking at the decimal 16/10. Can you understand that? So 16/10, that is, the regrouping is still the same thing. But, however, you have got the decimal point now to be careful with. 16/10 is regrouped to 1, 1, and 6/10. Now, the same idea goes with, if I were to multiply 0.25 with 5. So the question here states, find the product of 0.25 and 5. Now, the term product is nothing new, right? We already know this, right? Yes. So product of 0.25 and 5 is the same terms that we are learning for multiplication. However, this time around we are looking at 0.25 times 5. It goes through step by step. I multiply at the hundredths place first. Regroup 25, the 20 hundredths to 2 tenths. So you have the 2 small little 2 on top here at the 10th place and the 500ths here. Followed by the next step. Multiply at the 10th place add the new tens, regroup the 12 tens to 1, 1, and 2 tens. Do my last step, multiply the ones place. Do my regrouping as usual. The last thing, don't forget the decimal point. And then you get your answer. So we already know that 25 times 5 is 125. So the same multiplication skill, same thing. The difference is now you have decimal point to the border above. So 0.25 times 5 equals to 1.25. Now, so actually, even if you do 3.85 times 4, the idea is the same thing. I can do 385 times 4. I will get 1,540. The same methods for doing multiplication. But the new thing is I've got to put in the decimal point. Okay? Now, I think so far, multiplication is still quite okay, manageable, should be manageable for us. It's the division that is a little bit more difficult. So let's look at the multiplication now. Now, I prepared and printed out this stack, a whole stack of this algorithm paper again. I think, huh? Oh, okay. So I printed these new copies. Okay, particularly useful for division because later we do long division of decimals. That one quite difficult. Now the thing is this: if you are one of us, the handwriting very neat, you write really nicely, tidily, orderly. When you do your working, it's column by column, very neat. Yeah, I don't think you need this paper. But now we are using pen already. I want you to use pen already. Okay. If you think that you cannot write properly, you're working everywhere. You're going to make mistakes. Okay. You cannot write neatly. Then use the paper here. Okay. Now, multiplication should be quite okay. So far okay? This one shouldn't be an issue. There is exactly a practice of what I'm explaining to you earlier on. You know the same math facts. 2 times 3 to 6. So it's actually probably about 0.2 times 3. So the same math facts. But the difference is now when I do the multiplication at the side here, I have the 6, but I cannot forget the very important decimal point and the 0 when it happens. Your decimal point must be very clear. So 0.2 times 3 is 0.6. Then 4 tenths times 3 is 12 tenths. Same as facts. However, when I'm doing my multiplication, aligning my decimal point, do my regrouping as with how I would do any long multiplication, then you get your answer. Now, what is a worry here? The worry is that when you bring the decimal point down, now this is a working step. It's a multiplication working. This working requires you to pay attention to the decimal point in this manner. However, what it really means is actually say 0.4 plus 0.4 plus 0.4. That's what this is meaning. So the problem is The worry is when the confusion of say, oh, previously when we learned addition and subtraction, Miss Lim say must align decimal point. Then when I do my multiplication of decimals, does that mean it's supposed to be written like this? No, so this is a mistake. Must be very careful. It will cause you to be confused. Okay, so ignore this. Okay, think of what you understand by multiplication. Use align and stack the decimal points together only when you are doing addition or subtraction. Okay, so this is not correct. This one is correct. Okay, so I will do multiplication of decimals as how I would do any whole number. The difference is now I must pay attention there's a decimal point. So, like any whole number, 5 times 4 equals to 20. However, I must take note that after I do my multiplication, I must remember to pay attention to the decimal point. Yes. Okay. Is this okay? Okay. So 5 times 6 is 30. So the same idea comes. I would multiply as how I would do any whole number, but after I do my multiplication, I must remember the decimal point. Is that okay? Okay, that's okay. We move on. This part here. So multiplication, you see, this is only 2 pages like this. But division is the one that has a lot more pages. Why there's some? Because there's some problems and difficulty with it. Okay. Now, so let's check. For those of you who have tried out, and you see the portion that says check if the answer is reasonable. What do you mean by check answer reasonable? How to check? Anybody? What do you mean by check if it's reasonable? Okay, one way is I can divide, work backwards, reverse operation. Yes. Okay, that's another one. So very good. So either you go backwards or you do approximation and estimation. So I round it off. So I know 2.7, like $2 and it's like $2.70. So $2.70 is about $3 lah, like this. So it's about 3 times 4. So it should be about, the answer should be about 12. Okay, so this is the checking step. Now let me check my working. I do my working as with any multiplication. Is I do it 37 times 4. Then do it as how you would. 7 times 4 is 28. 2 times, then I put a 2 here. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. Now, so 27 times 4, 27 times 4 is 108. But this is not 27 times 4, it's 2.7 times 4. So I align the decimal place, bring it down 10.8. Okay, is it close to 12? Roughly lah, about there. So it's like $2.70 plus $2.70 plus $2.70 plus $2.70. You should get about $10.80. Can you understand that? Okay. Next one here. I do like any multiplication, just like doing 58 times 6. 8 times 6 is 48. So I do as if I'll do any normal long multiplication. 5 times 6 is 30. 30 plus 4, 34. So it's like 348 if you were to do 58 times 6. But this is not 58 times 6. It's 5.8 times 6. Like $5.80 times 6. So I must remember the decimal point. If I never write down the decimal point, now this is 0 marks. Because it's wrong already. Okay? Very important. So 1.04 times 4, I do like how I would do a normal. Okay? 4 times 4, 16. Regroup as per normal. So 0 times 4 is 0. Okay. Then 1 times 4, 4. Okay. So if it's 104 times 4, the answer will be 416. But it's not 104. It's $1.04. 1.04. So I bring down the decimal point. The answer should be 4.16. Okay. Now, so the next one I got to work on it myself. 13.2 multiplied by 3. Make sure don't forget your multiplication operation. If you don't have this multiplication symbol, you're also wrong. So I will do this like how I do any. Oh, I see. Okay, so Wen Hao help himself and help Taylor also by having his timetable. He has this bookmark, and it's a timetable that helped him. So he was checking his timetable. Okay. Good. Oh, wow. So pretty. Oh, it's from the bookshop. Oh, it's very nice. Okay. However, you need to know that exam time you cannot use this. So you need to really memorize it. Okay, now practice you can. 2 times 3, 6. 3 times 3, 9. 1 times 3, 3. If I do 132 times 3, the answer will be 396. However, it's not 132. It's $13.20, 13.2. Your decimal point must be there. Do not forget to fill in the blank. It should be 39.6. Now, so this one is about 13 times 3. 13 times 3 is about 39. Okay, it's about there. So it looks reasonable. I'm not having something that's really odd. Okay, so 18.46 times 7. You can do it by yourself? You think so? Okay, now, how about the next two questions? Like this one. Even though it's written this way, can I write it like this? Yes, I can, right? Yeah, still okay. Work it like how you will do a 4-digit number times 1-digit number. You already learned that already. Not an issue, right? We learned this before. For our long multiplication, we are already able to do 3-digit times 2-digit. So you must feel confident that this one can do it. Okay? Just to memorize your times table part. 7 times 3, 63. 7 times 9, 63. 1 times 9, 9. 9 plus 6, 15. 9 times 9, 81. 81 plus 1, 82. 3 times 9, 27. 27 plus 8, 35. Now, if I were to look at this as a whole number, 3,917 times 9, it should give me the answer 35,253. But this time, again, is a decimal. So decimal, I bring down 2 decimal places. So the answer will have 2 decimal places. Very good. The question is 2 decimal places. So the answer will also be 2 decimal places. 352.53. Is that okay? Okay? Now, you got to be very good at this at the end of primary 4. Because primary 5, you're going to do multiple digit multiplication with decimals. Yeah, like 39.17 times 90. Yes. Yeah. So you need to be able to do that next year. So right now you got to make sure you get this confidently completed. Okay, so 39 and 17 cents is about $40, right? So 40 times 9 it will be about $360, which is about there. Looks reasonable. Right? Quickly, we move on to division of decimals. Just now we talked about it already, right? Multiplication quite okay. Everybody okay? Who confident with multiplication? Okay, good. Okay. Then we look at division. Now, division, if you look at your textbook, it explains to you the same ideas. Like this one. It's trying to show you that, look, I already know 6 divided by 2 is 3. The times table. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. But in this case, it is decimals. Okay? And I cannot forget the decimal place. Now, the difficulty comes when I need to do regrouping for decimals. Okay, which we will work on it now. Okay, so the first part on page 65, I don't think it's an issue. It's giving you very nice numbers to do your division with. On page 65, pretty okay. 8 divided by 2, 6 divided by 3, 24 divided by 4, 21 divided by 3. All very nice numbers to do division. However, you need to pay attention that we are talking about decimals here. Is 60 cents divided by 3, 20 cents. It is 8 cents divided by 2 is 4 cents. And it's 24 hundredths. That's what this means. Divide by 4, it should be 0.06. And this one here should be 0.3. Okay, if that's okay, we'll try out these problems here. You have a few difficult ones. Okay, if you would like to use the paper, I'm going to talk about it right now. Now, okay, so I'm going to go on page 66 now. 66 here. I'm going to use my paper to show. Anybody else wants the paper? Okay, come here, pick it up. Yes. You can say more than one. Okay, I'm going to use this paper to help me practice my working. Okay, I'm in page 66, question 2A. Now, here, I got to practice division symbol early. Yeah. Writing my division symbol. Now, the question asks for a 8.4 divided by 2 equals blank. All right, so I have 8.4. I write it just like I do it before. Okay, divide by 2. Now, I'll do division like how I do any long division. So, okay, so far? So, I have my, what's inside here? The problem that must be solved. I have the quotient here, the divisor here. This is the answer I'm looking for. Okay, I'm concerned with the answer here on top. For the answer above, the first thing I do, I remind myself the decimal point. Align to the correct decimal point. 8 ones and 4 tenths here. So it's, in other words, 84 tenths. So 8 ones and 4 tenths here. 8 ones, then there's a decimal point. So it's like $8.40. I divide the $8 by 2, I should get $4. Now, next step, I bring down the cents, 40 cents. At this point, I don't bring down the decimal point. If you want, you can do so, all the way decimal point. Okay? But to be neat, I don't do it because the most important one is this decimal point here. Okay? Then 2 times 2 is 4, minus 4, finish, no remainder. So the answer is 4.2. Now, if you really want to put down the decimal point, 0.4, 0.4, can, no problem, not an issue. But for me, I decided not to. Okay, so that I focus on just solving it and then my final answer. But if you feel that it helps you to continuously write the decimal point, you can do so. Okay? Now the same idea of long division. 84 divided by 2 is 42. Same thing. Just that there's a decimal point here. Okay, I carry on. Question B. B says 5.2 divided by 5. Okay? Is 5.2 divided by 5. If I do my division, it will. I do it as how I would do usually. Until this point, I'm bothered about the answer here that I'll get above here. Make sure you have your decimal point in your answer. Now, at this point, I am not going to say, oh, quotient is 1, remainder is 2, 1R2. No. I'm going to continue to divide. So, $5.20 divided by 5 people, right? 5 people share out the $5.20. I can actually, I add in another zero at the back, at the hundredths place. And I can, because 20 cents, I can, it's behind the decimal place, and any number of zeros is fine. After the last given place value. So for this, at this point, I can't do anything here. Okay, I can't do anything at the tens place because it's just 2. So I'm going to ask the next door to help me. Instead of just looking at 0.2 as it is, I look at it as 20 cents. 20 hundredths now, which is what 0.2 is. But I couldn't do division at this place. So at the tens place is a 0 because there's no division that's happening. Then I carry on. Now I can continue. Is this okay? So if you look at this, $5.20. If I share out with 5 people, each person will get $1.04. Is this okay? So I write F here. The question for F is 9.66 divided by 7. Now, (9.66) divided by 7. I do it like I'm doing 966 divided by 7 as with any long division. However, it's very important to pay attention to the decimal point. Okay? So my answer will be 1.38. Is this okay? Okay, then I'm going to move on to page 67 and even more difficult ones, 68, 69, 70. All right, let's look at 67. I flip my paper over here for 67 for more space. Now, at this page, page 67, here comes the challenge. For your entire life from primary 1 to primary 2, and even primary 3, a lot of math teachers will say, you cannot divide a smaller number by a bigger number. Right? When you write an equation, the bigger number should be in front. It's things like that. But the truth is, in mathematics, it is possible. It is possible to have a smaller number divided by a bigger number. And our first, yes, it is just like when we learn about this idea of a smaller number divided by a bigger number, actually at primary 2. You know why? Yes, fraction. When I share out one pizza with 5 people, I'm chopping it into smaller pieces. So I'm looking between whole numbers, fractions and decimals. So right now, I have page 67, looking at question 3. I have, say, 2 pizzas or 2 chocolate. I share the 2 chocolate with 4 people. 2 divided by 4. So 2 divided by 4 definitely is not possible. Okay? It will be definitely less than 1. That's not enough to share at all. I got to cut it into smaller pieces. So what I do is, I add in a decimal point so that the cutting can happen. Put in the place here, so I can't do anything at the 1 place. So it's 0 point something. Because I cannot do anything at the 1 place. I go to the 10th place now. I regroup the 2 ones into 20 tens. It's just like saying I change $2 to 20 10-cent coins. That kind of idea. Then I share it out. So 4 people share out. Okay, then I'll be able to get this. Now, so every time you look at 2 divided by 4, you think, can do man? Then you just remember, you easily say you get 4 people to share $2. How much money each people get? Each person will get 50 cents. 50 cent, 50 cent, $1. 50 cent, 50 cent, $1. 4 people share $2. Each person 50 cent. Can you understand that? So the answer becomes 0.5. Is this okay? So if I look at D, now $2 shared amongst 5 people. Okay. So instead of 4 people share $2, now 5 people share $2. Again, definitely the one's place cannot do anything. Yes. So I go to the 10th place, add in the decimal point. The moment you put in the point, you must remember your answer must have the point as well. Okay. Now all workings must be shown clearly. Yeah. You okay? You okay? Okay. So like Kaylen says, 4 people share $2, each person get 50 cents. 5 people share $2, each person get 40 cents. Can you understand? Yes? So far, okay? So good? Can? Okay, huh? So let's say I go to D. D is 27 divided by 6. Now, this one a bit more complicated. $27 divided by 6. Okay, one's place cannot do anything. Tenth place cannot do anything. One's place 10. Okay, now still got $3. I can make it into cents place. Add the decimal point and the 0. Can you understand? So $27 shared by 6 people, I get $4.50. Can? Okay, so far everybody? Can any difficulty? No. Okay, I move on. You do the rest by yourself, okay? Okay, move on. I skip to page 69. Level 2 already, 69. 68 is sharing with you a shortcut. Before we touch on 69, 68 show you a shortcut. For example, so I have 8, 0.8, 0.08. Does it make sense? Then, so if I say nine, what do you think is this? 0.9, 0.09. Is this okay? Can you see the pattern? So it's actually you're moving the number along the decimal places. Can you understand? Can you understand? So you recognize the pattern. 18 ones divided by 2, 9 ones. 18 tens divided by 2, 9 tens. 18 hundreds divided by 2, 9 hundreds. Is that okay? Yeah. Then we try the level 2 one. Level 2 is the more difficult one. Okay, I will do it once on the paper and once on the book. 69. Once on the paper and once on the book. Say, for example, 0.24 divided by 4. To one decimal place. Why is there one decimal place? Because it says correct to one decimal place. Okay, I do it once on the paper and once here. If I do it here, division symbol 0.24 divided by 4. I can't do anything here. The ones place. Don't forget the decimal point. But most of you are doing on the paper, at the end, just paper and submit. Okay, no need to copy it here. Okay, nothing at the thanks place also. Is this okay? Now, however, take note. Here has this big place to one decimal place. So the answer is 0.06 rounded to 0.1. Why? Because it's rounded to one decimal place. So the answer should be 0.1. Now, this equal sign can only be used if there is this sentence here. If there is no sentence here that says to one decimal place, this is wrong. Can you understand that? Now, because there's a to one decimal place, it means it's you have the curly wurly. Here, you have to stop talking and stay focused. Can you understand what I'm talking about? If I only see the equal sign, there's no writing here. I write 0.1 is 0 marks. Yes. If I see one decimal place written, then the equal sign is valid. Because it's stated here to one decimal place. That is what it means with the approximation. What exactly it means is this step here. Is this okay? Now, next one. Now, the answer is 3.56. No, the answer is 3.56. But yes, I need to round it to one decimal place. It will be 3.6. This equal sign is only valid when you have to one decimal place. Can you understand? Okay so far? Now, next one, more challenging. Yes. Then remainder how? Yes. Add a zero at the back. So I carry on to add a zero at the back. 35 divided by 6. There's a remainder. Cannot stop here. What add a zero other than like that? Yes, it must have the decimal point. Then it's okay. Okay, is that all? 548? Still a remainder. Then how? And another at the back. Continue. Can. Can, still can. What's the answer? Yeah, so I will keep on adding. So this one will be. Oh, two. Two have. I can add another zero. That's not the answer. That's not the answer. The answer can still continue. Yes. Then when shall I stop? Ah. Yeah, so I need to continue and do. Ah, okay. So the answer is yes. All of us know. The story continues. The story never ends. Is 5.83333333333333333. But Chelsea says, hey guys, you know what? Because the question asked to correct to one decimal place, I don't have to continue forever. I can just stop at the second decimal place or the third decimal place. Just to save check. So I will want to stop here. So I will say it's 5.83 ... forever. I have to round to one decimal place. Which will be 5.8. Is this okay? Do you understand or not? Now, if you have trouble understanding or remembering all this, I strongly recommend you go home and watch this video lesson again. Okay? And practice all the questions one more time. Is that okay? Now, that's it on page 70. Now, It's the same idea. But it's to 2 decimal places. I need to round. Yes. So like Joshi said, that means when I do the division, I need to do at least up to 3 decimal places so that it can help me to decide how to round to 2 decimal places. For example, I just jump to question D. Page 70, question D. 41 divided by 9. Okay. The nearest one is, oops. The nearest one is 36. And I'll get 5 as a remainder. Okay. But because it's decimal, I can continue to divide $41. Add in the decimal point. So I have 4 point something now. Yes, I put a 0 at the back. I bring it down. It will be yes. So subtract 45. I get 5. Do I need to continue? Are you sure? What did the question ask for? Yes, you need to do up to 3 decimal places so that you can decide whether it's round up or round down to 2 when you are doing rounding. So I carry on to do my division. I carry on to do my division up to at least 3 decimal places. So I have 4.555 and then the story never ends. 3 decimal places, I need to round to 2 decimal places. So my answer will be 4.56. Because the question asks for round to 2 decimal places. So over here, you have 4.56 to 2 decimal places. Can you understand? Now, your homework will be up to page 70. Those of you who feel confident, you can try 71, the word problems. Okay? Yes. So for everyone, yeah, up to page 77, 71, 70, and 71, your multiplication, division of decimals, word problem 71. Do not forget your SLS and term practice, okay? So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, see you on Monday. Okay?